literally less than 2 weeks ago. That's how long it's been since I did a Predator Poachers video. And once again, we're back with the same shit. Here's the thing about this catch. Now I'm not trying to defend this guy whatsoever. I think he is a vile piece of fucking garbage. And I think that he deserves a lot worse than what Predator Poachers did to him. But with that being said, this is about optics, and optics do matter. So, this guy, first of all, he's sick as fuck. Trying to go after an 8-year-old. He has a foot fetish. So they confront him. They confront him at his job. And after a while, one of the guys, I guess, that works there was like, listen, you can't do this here. You gotta kind of take this somewhere else. And honestly, to tell you the truth, that's where it should have ended. This is where it should have ended. Because they asked him a bunch of questions. He was crying. He was doing all sorts of looking at the wall. He wasn't really answering them. He was giving them attitude. The whole 9 yards. And I admit, it was frustrating to watch. As far as, what Alex had to sit there and put up with. So in that sense, I totally agree with how he handled it. But here's the thing. Once the guy got on the bus, that's where it should have ended. It didn't end that way. They wound up following him. While he was on the bus. And when he stopped at, I guess, wherever he was stopped at, they got on the bus and they started questioning him some more. And I'm just like there thinking, you know what? Here's the thing. If you didn't really get a lot out of him out of the first time, why are we doing this again for? Just on a side note, even with him and CC Unit, why do these videos always go to a fucking hour? It's always an hour and 19 minutes. It's after a while they start to repeat themselves and you just kind of sit there you fucking serious? But I don't know. Some people can sit there and say they do it for money as far as stretching out the time because they didn't get anything more out of him than they did the first time. And after a while, I guess the bus driver called the cops after locking them in, which I thought was kind of fucking weird. How do you sit there and lock these guys in? But they locked them in. The cop came on the bus, and the minute the cop was like, so, are you harassing the special needs guy? Or the special needs kid? I was like, fuck. Because that's literally what it looks like. And this is the second time that this happened. Now, granted, in their defense, the first time they were talking to this guy online or whatever, they didn't know that he was special needs. When they confronted him, that's when they found out that, he had a mental problem. But after that, and after he got on the bus, that's where the video should have ended. But it didn't. So once again, it just comes across like you are harassing these people with special needs. Now this guy, I'm not saying that he doesn't know right from wrong, but there's clearly something wrong with his brain chemistry. Because when you ask him, when he was asking the questions, he was just giving them short answers. He was like, well, I said I was sorry, They were talking to me too. He didn't really understood the full nature of what he was doing. And even Alex was like, you can scar these kids for life. You can mess these kids up for life. He wasn't getting it. He wasn't getting it. So at that point, there was something clearly wrong. With him, and they should have just said what they had to say. But I don't know if this is to stretch out the time for, I don't know, more fucking ads or whatever, but this is the video that we ended up with. And again, from optics level, it just looks like, once again, they're harassing somebody that has special needs. The sad truth of the matter is, I feel like a lot of these channels in about 2 or 3 years are just gonna sit there and keep getting taken off. Here's the thing. depending on what state you're in, you have to, you have the right to sit there and film people. But that's where it pretty much stops. You don't have the right to sit there and upload their image without someone's consent. And even though Alex said in the beginning, this is harassment, this isn't this, it's about optics, And if I'm somebody that's working at YouTube, even when I hear him say, well, I'm not sitting there harassing anyone, this isn't meant to like harass or harm or anything like that. When you look at that video, that's literally what you say. And that's kind of the issue with all of these predator catching, creep catching videos. Even the ones like Pop Squad, because when you film someone and the minute they sit there and say, I don't want to be on camera, you don't have the right to sit there and record me and stuff like that, technically speaking, you are harassing them. That's just a fucking fact, and that's one of the guidelines on YouTube. And a lot of them break those guidelines. It's not just them, it's prank channels, even the pranks that are fake, because they don't sit there and say this is fake or anything like that, or people aren't reading it, it comes across as harassment, And that's why a lot of these channels, how many times have Predator Poachers actually had to sit there and get a new channel? 1 second. There's another creep catching group called Creep Spotlight. And I was thinking about, because I haven't seen their videos in a while, and I was like, there's another channel. And when you go on the channel, well, apparently you had to make a new channel. And I gotta sit there and sub to it. I mean, listen, definitely subscribe to Creep Spotlight, because he got 267, and this guy deserves a hell of a lot more. The thing about this channel and about this guy that does these videos is that his first channel probably got deleted. Because once again, it breaks YouTube's guidelines as far as harassment goes. Here's the thing, I'm not sitting there trying to defend these fucking pedophiles. I'm not. I think they all deserve what they get and more. But if you look at it purely from a, follow the rules and stuff like that, pretty much every single creep catching video is breaking the rules. Now, it's fucked up, and it's not something that I want. I don't want any of these channels to go, because at the end of the day, it's about exposing them. Even if it doesn't go to trial, even if they get off or whatever, people know who they are and where they live. And honestly, to tell you the truth, as far as any pedophile groups or creep catching and stuff like that, it's a lot better than some of the stuff that I've seen on there. And if they're not going to sit there and delete half of the porn that's on here, even though they cover it up under, ASMR? I was watching a video yesterday, I was like, yeah, this is clearly fucking porn. And those videos have been on for a while, years. So no, I don't think that, or I don't want the creep catching, predator poachers videos to go away. But I just feel like in another 2 or 3 years, given how strict YouTube has become, I wouldn't be surprised if more of these channels start to just get fucking deleted. Now, before I go, I want to make this crystal clear. In no shape, way, or form am I sitting there trying to attack Alex or anything like that, or be a hater or, pedophile defender or anything like that. I actually think that he's a pretty decent guy. I talked to him a couple of times. He's a decent guy, And even though I give him shit, even in this video, I give him shit. At the end of the day, I 100% stand with him on what he's doing. And the fact that he be traveling, he spends all this money and stuff like that just to sit there, a couple of days, hours and stuff like that, driving just to meet fucking this guy. is well fucking commendable. You know, and in some instance, in some rights, yeah, I probably shouldn't be sitting there criticizing him because, you know, the ends do justify the means. But again, this is about optics, and if we're talking about optics, it looks like he is harassing someone with special needs. Anyway, that's pretty much all I gotta say. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you think he's doing a good job? Do you think he's going too far? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Have a good day or good night, depending on when you're watching this. Be safe. If you can share this video, that definitely will help. I don't know, maybe one day, you know, me and Alex will sit there and, you know, I can come on his live or whatever. We can sit there and do a chat and shit like that. You know, I'll probably be described under as haters or whatever, but, you know, whatever. And just kind of chop it up and see what he's doing and, you know, get more of his opinion on all this shit. But, until then,